Imagine standing at the edge of a tranquil river. It's early morning, and a soft mist clings to the water's surface. As the sun rises, its rays turn the mist into a golden veil, and everything feels like it's on the brink of a gentle awakening. This river, in its quiet flow, is much like a conversation, a natural, unforced journey from one moment to the next. It carries you along, often with a gentle nudge, exploring the depths of emotions, thoughts, and connections. And this flow, this seamless journey of words and thoughts, is something we all strive to create in our interactions. Creating conversation flow naturally begins with a genuine interest. Think about the last time you were deeply invested in something. Perhaps it was a movie, a book, or a hobby. Your focus was unyielding. In a conversation, this same level of interest acts as your compass. It guides you beyond words, allowing you to pick up on the subtleties of what isn't said, the pauses, the changes in tone, the fleeting expressions. Much like an artist learns to see beyond colors to the emotions they evoke, a skilled communicator learns to hear beyond words to the feelings they convey. Picture this. You're at a gathering, and you notice someone standing alone, scanning the room with quiet curiosity. You decide to approach them. As you engage, your body language opens like the pages of a book, inviting them to read your interest. Your eyes meet theirs and hold just a bit longer than usual, creating a thread of connection. You nod subtly, creating a rhythm that resonates with their story. Your posture leans slightly forward, signaling your eagerness to listen. These nonverbal cues are the silent architects of conversation flow. They set the stage for words to dance freely. In these moments, empathy is your silent partner. It's an invisible bridge that connects your experience to theirs. As they share a story, perhaps they speak of a recent challenge at work. You feel their struggle, not because you've lived it, but because you've listened with your heart. You recall your own moments of adversity, and as you do, your responses become more authentic, more resonant. You see, empathy allows conversations to flow like a river, adapting to the curves and bends of human experience. Confidence also plays its part in this symphony. It's the steady beat that keeps everything in harmony. It isn't about being the loudest voice in the room or having all the answers. It's a quiet assurance that your contribution matters, and so does theirs. You speak with a tone that is calm yet firm, like the reassuring sound of a lullaby. Confidence invites others to share their thoughts without fear of judgment, creating a space where ideas can float freely like leaves on the river's surface. Now consider the role of emotional intelligence, that finely tuned instrument that defines our interactions. It's about reading the room, sensing the undercurrents that might not be immediately visible. When you're attuned to these, you begin to notice when a topic might be sensitive, or when someone is eager to share but hesitant. You adjust the tempo of your words, much like a conductor guiding an orchestra through a symphony. Sometimes you give space for silence, a pause that allows reflection and deeper thought. In these spaces, true understanding is born. There's a powerful tool you possess, one that's often underestimated: your ability to frame conversations persuasively. It's less about convincing and more about inviting. You frame thoughts in a way that considers the other person's perspective, turning dialogue into a shared exploration. Imagine discussing a complex idea by painting a vivid picture with your words. Your voice becomes a brush, drawing images that make abstract concepts tangible. This art of framing makes ideas relatable, turning what could be a monologue into a collaborative canvas. Now, let's weave in the element of storytelling, a universal language that transcends boundaries. Stories are vessels that carry our shared humanity. Picture a time you were captivated by a tale, be it around a campfire or in a quiet corner of a cafe. The storyteller's voice was like a spell, drawing you into a world of vivid imagery and rich emotions. When you share stories within conversations, you invite your listener into your world while simultaneously stepping into theirs. It's a dance where each step taken is a mutual discovery. Ultimately, the flow of conversation is like water. It adapts, finds new paths, and nourishes the essence of connection. When you master this flow, interactions become more than an exchange of words. They become a shared journey. And as you navigate this journey with curiosity, empathy, confidence, and intelligence, you create spaces where connections are not just made, but also cherished. As you reflect on this, I invite you to think about your own conversations. Consider how you can be the river, gently guiding, adapting, and creating new paths for dialogue. Remember that each interaction is an opportunity not just to speak or listen, but to truly connect. It's about being present, aware, and open to the myriad of possibilities each conversation holds. And perhaps, like the tranquil river under the morning sun, you'll find that the true flow of conversation lies in its ability to illuminate and uplift both the speaker and the listener. As we continue exploring the art of creating a natural conversation flow, let's dive into the concept of presence. It's something we often underestimate, yet it holds immense power in our interactions. When we're truly present with someone, we're not just physically there, we're mentally and emotionally engaged. We're not distracted by our phones or preoccupied with our own thoughts. Instead, we're tuned into the other person, fully experiencing the moment. Imagine sitting across from a friend in a cozy cafe. The warm aroma of coffee envelops you, and the gentle clinking of cups adds rhythm to your conversation. In this setting, your friend shares a story, and you can tell it's important to them. Presence, in this scenario, means you're not just nodding along, you're offering them the gift of your undivided attention. You're catching the subtle shifts in their tone, the sparkle in their eyes, the pauses that invite you deeper into their world. When we practice presence, we allow conversations to become more than just exchanges of words. They transform into connections, where each individual feels seen and heard. And in those connections, we find the seeds of trust and understanding. Presence also invites authenticity. When we're not rushing to respond or formulate our next point, we give ourselves the space to speak from the heart. Think about the ease you feel when talking to someone who just gets you. No pretenses, no judgment. Authenticity flows when there's room for vulnerability, and vulnerability invites warmth and empathy into our conversations. Let's remember that presence is a meeting place for mutual respect and curiosity. It's an unspoken invitation to explore each other's thoughts and feelings, even when there's a difference of opinion. This openness can lead to new insights and deeper connections, enriching the conversation in ways we might not have anticipated. So as we continue our journey to master conversation flow, let's commit to being present. The next time you find yourself in a dialogue, try to pause your internal monologue just for a bit. Offer your full attention and engage genuinely with the person before you. Notice what happens when you let go of distractions and embrace the beauty of being fully there. In the end, presence is about more than just listening. It's about embracing the shared space you create with someone else. And in doing so, you unlock the true potential of every conversation. As we continue exploring the art of natural conversation flow, let's pivot to a powerful but often overlooked aspect, the role of curiosity. Genuine curiosity acts like a gentle breeze that propels the sails of conversation, steering it in new and unexpected directions. It's the kind of curiosity that isn't just about gathering information, but about truly understanding another person's world, their thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Think about the last conversation you had that felt truly fulfilling. Chances are you were both curious and receptive. You asked questions not out of obligation, but because you genuinely wanted to know more. This kind of curiosity creates a space where the other person feels valued and understood, which in turn encourages them to open up further, deepening the dialogue. One way to nurture this curiosity is by practicing mindful listening. When we listen with intent, we focus not just on the words being spoken, but on the emotions behind them. It's about noticing the pauses, the shifts in tone, and the unspoken sentiments that words alone can't capture. It's about being present in the moment, free from the distraction of formulating your next response while the other person is still talking. I believe that there's a magic in this sort of attentive listening. It allows you to discover nuances you might otherwise miss, and it gives you the opportunity to respond with empathy and insight. As you engage more deeply, your conversations become less like a tennis match and more like a dance, flowing organically from one step to the next. Another key to maintaining conversation flow is the art of segueing. Natural segues are seamless transitions that help guide the conversation without jolting it into a new and unrelated topic. A good segue connects what has just been said to what you are about to introduce, ensuring a smooth transition that feels cohesive. For instance, if you're discussing a friend's recent trip abroad, you might segue into a related topic by saying, "Speaking of exploring new places, have you ever thought about trying that new cafe downtown? I heard they have some amazing international dishes on the menu." This kind of transition keeps the conversation aligned, preventing it from feeling disjointed or forced, while maintaining an element of surprise and exploration. Segues are like bridges that carry the momentum across different landscapes of thought and subject matter. Finally, remember that silence is not the enemy of conversation. In fact, it's often the silence that allows ideas to breathe and settle. Comfortable pauses can offer a moment to reflect, providing both you and your conversation partner the time to think deeply. Such pauses can enrich the dialogue by inviting meaningful engagement, making the exchange far more substantial than a flurry of words ever could be. Embracing these elements, curiosity, mindful listening, skillful segueing, and the grace of silence, can transform the way we connect with others. It creates a space where conversation can flourish naturally, where every interaction is an opportunity for growth and understanding. By cultivating these skills, we open ourselves up to richer, more rewarding exchanges that leave both parties feeling heard, understood, and enriched. As we wrap up this exploration today, I encourage you to carry these insights into your next conversation. Notice the difference when you infuse your dialogue with curiosity, pay full attention, and allow for natural transitions. Discover the beauty that unfolds when you give space for silence. It's in these moments that the true magic of conversation is revealed, where we not only connect with others, but also with a deeper part of ourselves.